Hey Stephanie, how you doing? So I find your writing interesting here, and the reason I say that is because you say that you're working in InDesign, but you're not comfortable in InDesign. At least you're not comfortable yet. You're still learning, and that's to me is really a fantastic thing because what you're saying is that you're learning InDesign while doing the project, as opposed to falling back on Illustrator, which presumably you know a little better than InDesign does. What I just said makes sense. Um, and I think that's points in a great direction for a student because you're willing to learn, you're willing to experiment, you're not just falling into your comfort zone like so many students seem to do. So I love it. I love it. Okay, let's go and take a look. It's a great start. I think it's really an interesting notion here. Now, what we have there, let's say, so the image is dominant, right? Then we have the object shown with somebody using it or interacting with it. So we've got that. And this is interesting. We need to show somebody a result of using the object. So maybe we can show somebody climbing out of a Jeep after an off-road session and they're just covered with mud or something like that, right? So think about that. So the image is a result of somebody using the object. Two components, you've got that. Black and white. By the way, I'm sorry, black. What did I just say? I have a white background is what I'm trying to say. So that you've got that asymmetrical 7 by 15. You're at 15 by 7, which is fine. You're in vertical orientation. I'm sorry, horizontal orientation. Imagery must come in contact with the edge of the page somewhere twice. We got here and here. This image is cropped, by the way. That's uncomfortable, right? Really uncomfortable right there. So you don't want a cropped image. You want to get a full image and mask it out of its background. I think it's a great image. It's just that crop right there is problematic. If you've got this edge of the page, you can't even really flip this image because then the image will be, the car will be turning off the page, and we don't want that. We want everything to point into the center of the composition as opposed to pointing out of the composition. So this might require a new image. We'll talk about that in a second. Image comes with twice. Design must come with images that are boxes as part of the background and crops. We have that. You got that. Those are boxes, considered to be boxes, right? So that's cool. Do not put everything in a box. Keep your. All right, that's cool. We're good. So it looks like you're using a grid. This is fantastic. Now, a few recommendations and comments. Number one, this is a good image. It's aggressive, but it's not aggressive enough. I mean, it's big, it's chunky, it's muddy, it's rolling, man. But it's just kind of a tame image. It's just kind of small down here. Let me show you an example. Look at this. Look how aggressive this is. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's just really in your face. There's enough here to make it completely recognizable, but also it's cropped in a way that makes it really super interesting. So you're not just like, okay, here's a car. Like, wow, here's a super interesting giant crop of a car. You see what I'm saying? Well, that's what we're after here. This is an aggressive sport. It's an aggressive vehicle. Let's get an aggressive layout. I think this is excellent. You've picked some features in the car itself to use for your images, and that's these circles from the headlights. That's great, and you've even put them in twos, and that's very, very smart. Excellent. Body copy is really tiny. Okay, so if you zoom out here, you can see. Okay, so here's you got the image, we got this layout here, and I got this little itty bitty type over here. So you really want to probably watch my cursor. I would say if given this layout, which you probably won't, you'll probably make adjustments, but given this layout, watch my cursor. Here's what your body copy should look like. Okay, something a little bit longer than that. I wouldn't mind even seeing more text in there. Okay, so where do we need to be from here? As I said, I think here's a really cool typographic treatment for the title. So try to shoot for something really cool. Again, you want aggressive here, right? This is aggressive as heck, so you want to be aggressive in your layout. I'm not sure what this is. Is this a logo? Not exactly sure what that is. So the main thing I'm saying here is that your body copy is set fine, but it's such a little tiny paragraph. It's kind of hard not to be set fine, right? If you adjusted your regs, you're doing a good job. If you didn't, then it just so happens that there's, but one thing we want to pay attention to is we want to start adjusting our regs. And that's all covered in the announcements video right here. I know you looked at these. There's 4 videos here, and then there's 3 lectures in the class. This is one of the best lectures you'll ever see on type and image. It's a great, read it, watch it, then do it again, then do it again, then do it again until this sinks in and becomes muscle memory. This is a fantastic video right here. Okay, so where we need to be, here's some of the examples of finalized projects here. That's really nice. Then we've got this one is my favorite one. Look at that composition; is just gorgeous. Got some elements right out of the image that we're helping us use in the composition. So, all right, so that's where we're at. That's where we need to be. I think it's a great start. Oh yeah, right. This crop right here is problematic. So you might want to find it. Otherwise, the image is great, but let's find a really super aggressive image and crop it in a way that's really super aggressive. And get really aggressive with this layout. I mean, again, you want the layout to match the object, right? So, cool. All right, that's where I'm at. Oh, by the way, a color choice might be something like green and brown. Green for grass and trees, brown for mud. And I know you're all about mud if you've got a vehicle like this, right? So that might be a tip as well. All right, cool. That's all I'm going to give you. So go ahead and start your changes if you run into problems or issues. If you need help, just give me a holler. Other than that, that's what I would like to see reflected in your final submission coming up this Sunday. Great. Any questions at all, please let me know. Good job. Thanks, Stephanie.